so we're continuing to work on our shed.
If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't been watching what we've been doing, so we've been building a modern Japanese-styled 2-story shed. We've been having a lot of parts. I don't even know what part or episode this is now. But the last time we were working on the back soffit of the building, which is a cedar soffit.
Yep, and up next is working on the fronts and the sides, the rest of the more visible area of the soffit. And we did that so we could learn from the backside.
And we did learn from the backside. One of the first things we noticed, so we went with the spirit of just going ahead and getting things done and using what we had for the backside, which meant that we used 16 gauge nails because that's what we had. It turns out those are pretty visible even from down below.
Which is what we thought might be the case.
And 16 gauge nails, so you'll know if you're not familiar with nail size, 16 gauge, the lower the gauge number, the bigger the nail is. So now we're going, instead of 16 gauge, we're going to go to 18 gauge. It's not a big difference, but it is. So as far as visually, it should make it a lot less noticeable for seeing the head of the nail from down.
And also weight-wise, our larger nails, we had the battery-powered nail gun, and for the smaller nails, we just have the pneumatic one, which will be a lot easier, I'm thinking, to hold above our heads and to use for installing the soffit above there.
Right. What other things did we learn?
We learned our layout was pretty good on the back. I would say that when we turned the corner, the edges, when we bumped up against the rafter tails, it was kind of jagged. So what we like to do is try to see if we can strike a straight line and cut a perfectly straight line, so you just don't see that kind of like toothy back and forthness. We'll see how that goes. I've got a plan to try to do that. But...
So the only problem is we're working upside down above our heads. And so it's a little bit harder to get it exactly precise for us at the DIY level. For somebody that's like a professional and does this day in, day out, I bet they can do it no problem. But for us, being kind of new to this, it's definitely a harder challenge than I think it should be.
Okay. So I think that's it. We're just get to making the soffit.
Yeah, so we have the front soffits to do. It's a lot to do, not too much. I think we can get it done, but we better get going.
All right.
I'm on the train headed back to Indiana. The rain is forming into rivers outside, writing down all the things that I miss, and in the letters you take form.
So something we learned when we were doing the back soffit of the shed was that the tung oil, when we were applying it to the cedar boards, is that it was absorbing just fine onto the smooth side. But then when we put it on the rough side of these boards, it was really absorbing and taking way too much tung oil than we would have liked. So what we're going to do now is the remaining boards I have, I'm going to plane on the fronts, and then I'm going to switch and plane all of them on the back side as well. So as I was putting this batch of cedar through the planer, everything was just fine. There's about I think 6 boards that went through and were still, they were a little too thin for the setting on the planer. So what that meant is that some areas became smooth like this and other areas are still rough. So what I'm going to do is wait until I plane the other sides of everything else down. So I have smooth sides on both sides, and these last few 6 or so that I have, I'll adjust the setting down a little bit to compensate for the skinniness of the boards.
I'm the first one to get off at the station. There's something in the air that I can't place. And now I see a silhouette in the dark. It's like time has stood still. I'm gonna hold you tighter this time around. Not feeling like I need to escape the world outside.
Now that I've planed all the boards, it's time to put them through the router.
In our hometown, running free.
Now that I'm finished routing everything, time to trim off the little excess pieces.
You got till it's gone. But now I know in my hometown.
It's another day. So last time we were able to get the soffit done on the back side, which was cedar. That was good because we made not mistakes, but we could make it look better.
Yeah, so we purchased some different nails, since hopefully they hide a little bit more, and onto the front of the building.
So first thing is to set up scaffolding.
All right, let's go.
Show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, show me life, show me love, make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, this is all we got. Show me love, show me love.
Okay, so I'm oiling the back sides of these boards because you need to oil all sides. So these boards right here, if you can see, this is the back side. I tried to get everything planed perfectly smooth, but to get the same thickness, these didn't. So there's some rough spots, and it is absorbing the oil more than the smooth parts, but it's working where this isn't taking nearly as much oil as it did when the whole one side of the board was rough. And then I'm not oiling right up to the picket ends because we're not going to use those either.
Right. All right, well, I'll go up there and get measurements.
Okay, good.
And I'll start calling down measurements, being like, 3/4.
Okay, well, I'll let these try to dry a little bit on this side. I'll get the back sides of those, and then I'll flip these and I'll oil the other side.
Okay.
You know what they say, paint anything outside, you're going to get bugs landing in it, but this is to the extreme.
This guy's like an inch long or more.
What is this?
Show me love, this is all we got. Show me love.
Okay, the first piece is on. Going up the stairs, up the ladder.
Super safe. Here you go.
Okay, here's one. And two. Thank you.
Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. Oh, this is all we got. And I know you'll make mistakes. Get interference and lose your way. Find the light when it rains. Oh, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love, make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days.
There you go.
But the days won't come. Show me love. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. Make a change. Time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. 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 Show me love.
Okay, so the question is, do we try to replicate these lookouts over here, or do we just leave it like this plain wood?
Well, and I'm saying we don't try to replicate the lookouts. I'm saying we try to replicate the rafters that are on the side. So you can see this guy sticking out vertically. So you would just have a vertical piece about here.
Right, that replicates like that right there.
But it would be black.
Right.
So it's a little bit hard to visualize it as not black. But I don't know. I mean, I'm 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd like it on there. I think it's just a matter if we can attach it sideways like that.
I mean, sure. So you could do a keyhole. We do have a keyhole bit. So you could do a keyhole where you do a screw and it like sticks down, and then it slides in and you notch it forward. That's a keyhole.
Yeah,
That would work, but that would be hard to do with this ledge right here.
and the keyholes broke apart on our retaining wall at the other house.
Keyholes did break apart at the retaining wall, but it had a lot of pressure on it, whereas this is hanging down from it. So that would be a little different.
I don't think that would be good.
You could screw. Another thing you could do is just have longer screws and screw straight through the bottom.
Yeah.
That's probably the easiest. And then the other ones, obviously, you could toenail it. But if you screwed straight through the bottom, you could probably caulk that bottom, and it would look pretty appropriate. I don't think you'd see the nails too much.
Yeah, I think I like that idea. We just need to get some measurements, paint the black, and get some screws that are long enough to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that should look good. Just looking at this, that should look good. I forgot about it. I was putting it on. I forgot to make sure that they lined up back closely. But I got it pretty close. So I think it'll be okay. I don't think these nails are too noticeable. But I would definitely go over the seams. I think this would hide both seams here. And this is the only one that has 2 seams. Everything else only has 1. So we can definitely hit all the seams.
Hey guys, while we continue putting the cedar up, let us know in the comments what you think. Do you think we should add the fake rafters or not? Do you think it'll impact the design, or do you think we should leave it clean? Let us know what you think.
Shocking, and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while.
There's Anna.
When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart.
Hey.
So I just thought I'd show. So this isn't oiled yet, but this is just what we cut. So this piece is going to go up there. We had to taper it. And so I don't know if you can tell, but it's wider at this end than it is at this end. So we tapered it using the track saw. That way, when it's up there and in place, it'll go from wider to tapered. This is just because we're not perfect and things are off a little. And then we actually have to make a small piece after this that's going to be tapered, and that'll be a little bit more fun to try to do that.
Okay. Here this is. Now, right up above me, we've got to put in a sliver, which we're cutting right now.
There we go. All right, so we're at the last piece here for this corner. So here we go. That looks good to me. Piece number 2. Looks good too. Piece number 3. This one's a little long here, but I'm going to call it as okay. What do you think? It overlaps by just barely.
As long as it doesn't push the next one out too far.
We'll find out. I'll just do one nail and one nail. So if I have to remove it. Oh, look at that. Right there.
Yeah, it looks pretty darn good. All right, looks nice.
There we go. We got it. How's that look?
Looks nice. Hey, Sue, what did you want to say?
Hey, I just want to say thanks everybody for watching. So we finished our back soffit. We've now finished the front soffit. It was a lot of work. It looks really, really good. I'm really happy about it. I think for now we're going to hold off on doing the fake lookouts. We just feel it looks more modern. We got look, the channel's building modern. Like we like modern design. It looks just much cleaner without it. So anyway, so that's what we're doing. I just want to say thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. It really helps us. What is it? Smash that like button.
Yeah.
But really, it makes a big difference when you subscribe. It helps YouTube and the algorithm know that you like what we like, so maybe other people will like it too. So again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.